What up, folks? It's the King. And it's when I'm talking to the fellas. So stay tuned. Ladies, feel free to, stay locked in as well and give your opinion in the comments. But this for the fellas. All right.
Shout out to King Wayne first before I get started. Crown him. But anyway,
So what up, y'all? It's the King. It's Monday, March the 2nd, 2026. In 2026, it's just been an amazing year so far. So we just gonna keep the energy going. But I got a crazy story, kind of like a story to tell, but a cautionary tale. Talking to my fellas about how you need to leave these bitches alone. So let's get into it. So about I want to say like a year, almost a year and a half ago. Matter of fact, hold on, almost 2 years now. Actually, it's closer to 2 years. I met this girl or this woman rather. I ain't gonna call her a girl because she grown, so I'm calling her a woman. Met this woman at a family function, not a family function, but a friend had a function for himself, a barbecue at his house, basically, him, his wife, and his family. So that's why I was calling it a family function because it was his family, right? And he invited me. So sure enough, I went. This was a couple years ago. This was July. Was it June? It was either June or July. I think it was June. It was June of 2024. So I went, and the day was actually June 15th. I'll never forget the actual date. And I'm going to tell you why I won't ever forget the date. It's not the significance of the person I met, it's just the craziness of the fact that the date was the date. So, I go, whatever. I shoot to the barbecue. I get there. As soon as I walk in, I see this woman. She's sitting by herself on a little chair joint. It's a two-chair joint, but she's sitting just with her. So I'm like, bingo. Be nice looking. Got fat ass. All that normal shit that draw us in because we thinking with the wrong head. Instead of thinking with this one, we thinking with this one. But whatever. So I go sit with her, blase blah, this, that, and the third, start shooting shit, da 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 da, blase blah, this, that, and the third. Shorty married, right? But at the time, I don't give a fuck about none of that. And mind you, it's not like I'm thinking long term or anything like that. We just sitting here having a conversation. So we talking, we drinking, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, not at the end of the day, but by the time the end of the cookout came, like me and her then got real buddy buddy. She was like the only person I talked to. I spoke to a couple other people, but like for the whole cookout, I'm there for like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. And the whole time I'm sitting next to this girl, just shooting it up, shooting shit, talking shit, whatever. So, she getting ready to leave and she was like, you should walk me to my car. And I'm like, what's up? Absolutely. I walk you to your car. So I walk into a car and I'm like, well, what's up? You gonna give me a number? Da-da-da-da. She like, no, I'm married, but here I'm gonna give you my Instagram. I noticed that's what the young folks do. They give Instagrams instead of giving phone numbers, which is the most retarded shit because it's all the same. But I guess maybe people think it's not the same. Maybe the access to not be able to call them is something they, value. And I respect that. It is what it is. So, I leave it alone. Blase, blah, this, that, and the third. So, but then I send a DM. I'm being a little, let me see how far I could take this. Cause Shorty was definitely feeling me. I know she said she was married, but she definitely trying to see what's up with the kids. So let me see where I could take this. Sure enough, she started giving me rhythm. That's just to give y'all the introduction. Now, I'm not going to go through every single detail of the story, but I'm going to try to give you the key points in making it to the point, the overall point that I'm trying to convey here in this video, right? So, we talked for a second, just shooting the shit, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And just talked about entertaining seeing each other. This girl, like, definitely wants to see me, but she's not trying to let on too much because she married, whatever. So eventually, what happened? When was the first time I saw her? It was her. Oh, so yeah, remember I was telling y'all. So this was June 15th, and I told y'all she was married. But Shorty had just gotten married June 1st. So mind you, she was only 15 days into marital bliss when I met her. And mind you, they had been together for a while. So I mean, I guess you know how that go if you're married. I ain't never been married, and I don't necessarily want to get married. So, but that's another story for another day. So we start chopping it up, blah, 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 this, that, and the third, da, 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 da. And I'm telling Shorty, I'm like, yo, I'm really that nigga, and I got a really strong energy. So you got to be careful because your husband more than likely will get an idea, right? Plus, you'll probably start acting all new because she was like really coming at it like she was feeling me, and it was like. I swear to God, women will dodge accountability like a motherfucker. It's not like I was coming after her like, oh my God, I want you so bad. None of that. None of that, right? That wasn't a thing. So, anyways, the first time we actually got together, she was going out. And upon her going out, she stopped past to see me, right? But it was funny because before she came, or like the day before, or whatever it was, she was supposed to come. She hit me like, I had a dream that you knew my husband and he found out, blah, blah, blah. So I don't think I should come. All right, cool. I'm not about to beg you to come see me. That's just not how it's gonna go. And I guess it was the Jedi mind trick she was trying to pull on me. But then she was like, "No, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come." See, there you go, women playing they fucking stupid games, winning super prizes. Because I was totally okay with the fact that she didn't want to see me because she had a husband, even though I was tugging the strings. But like we all adults, so at the end of the day, the choice is always yours to make. Anyways, so she came to see me. She went on about her business. Then she like planned to come see me again. So when she came to see me the next time, like clockwork, she gets there. Mind you, when she came to see me the first time, she came for a second and then she went to go do what she was gonna do. Oh, and the funny shit is that particular night she was gonna come back. She called me but I was asleep. I'm old. I don't be up all hours in the night like I used to when I was young. Like if I sit down for too long, it's a wrap. Like I'm talking about sit down. Like I could sit down and be like real fast. Like it takes me nothing to go to sleep. You know what I mean? Because I'm an older guy. So I wound up falling asleep, but I woke up to a couple missed calls. Like Shorty was like she had pulled back up to my house and she told me she was crying. I don't know how true that was because I wasn't answering the phone. Maybe she was. She was drunk. I don't know. I'm not trying to like gas it up. I am the nigga and all, but I ain't trying to gas it up too crazy just because it's my story. But I'm only telling you what happened. So the next time she came to see me, it was like during the day. It was like in the afternoon. She came, I guess after she had got off work or before she went to work. However it went, it was in the afternoon. And she hit the 1-2 to her husband that she was going to meet up with her girlfriend and go walking. So when she came, she had on like some, like some workout clothes. So she came and we just was talking, blah, blah, blah. And when she got there and her husband called. And when he called, I was like, well, go outside and answer the phone. Like you ain't gotta, go handle your business. I ain't here to try to fuck your shit up. So she went outside. She came back, and I was like, "Oh, everything cool?" She was like, "Yeah." He was asking me for this wedding video. Now, mind you, before me and the girl, started talking, she was telling me about how the husband wasn't paying no attention to her, blah, 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 this, and the third. Now all of a sudden, this nigga is calling asking for a wedding video. That's that energy. I was like, yo, he know you not with your girlfriend. I was like, he know. He don't know, but he know. Like my energy is very strong, so he knows that this is happening. Right. So eventually boy finds out. Um, and I'm skipping a whole bunch of parts. Like we didn't do it that day, but we eventually fucked and actually, you know what happened? We didn't. And this is when I was still doing the podcast at the time. I remember one time she came over and she was at the house while I was doing the podcast in the background, and I was like letting it be known on the podcast that I had somebody's wife in the house. It was crazy, and we hadn't did it to that point. And I was getting a little frustrated because I ain't gonna lie, she was all up in my face and all up in my shit. Like, what are you here for? You trying to give me something? Because I don't want to be your husband or your boyfriend. So what you doing? You giving the pussy up or you gonna go about your business? That was kind of how I laid it down. So we kind of went through a little 1-2 about that. But then like clockwork, she came and gave me some. Then the bull wound up finding out about it. Now I'm just kind of like selling through. I gave y'all the detail of like how we met, but now I'm like kind of selling through because it was a lot, right? I had messed with this girl from July of 24. I mean June of 24 when I met her to about October. No, yeah, like October of 24. As far as us physically doing anything, right? So my birthday was in November, and she hit me. This was one of the first times that I stopped talking to her. Was in November. around my birthday. She hit me, and it was because it was like at that point she was really trying to drag it out, like I was her nigga, although she was married. It was like some of the most ridiculous shit. And I remember I would say to her, which I didn't really care, but at the same time, after a while, I got like kind of dumb fucking with somebody's wife. I just, especially somebody's wife that wanted to be clinging to me like I was their boyfriend. Like it got to be a little irritating. And I remember saying to her, I was like, yo, it's crazy because if I did this type of shit in the reverse, I would be the worst person in the world. I was like, yo, I was like, even from the thought of, I was like, she used to get jealous at the fact of me talking about me entertaining other women. And they'd be like, bitch, you got a whole wedding ring on, which she would take off when she would come to my house. Oh my God. It was crazy. So without going through all the details, October come, November come, I kind of like fall back off of her, and then December come, like I'm going through my own shit at the time too. I had moved out my house, didn't have nowhere to live. There was a whole bunch of shit happening, right? But mind you, she was still there, and not for nothing, like we was cool. Like I don't want to make it seem like she was a horrible person. No, not at all. But at the same time, it was just the logic behind what was happening just wasn't working for me. It was just becoming to be too much, right? So I kind of just stopped. I not even kind of. I just stopped fucking with her around then. Like we last physically did some in October of 24, if I'm not mistaken, because I remember it correctly with her asking me what was we gonna do for my birthday, and I was looking at her like, bitch, we ain't doing nothing. You about to do something with because her husband's birthday was the day before mine. That's why I took a little offense. But it wasn't even offense for me. It was like more offense for him. Like, that's your husband. Like, go do something with your husband. It was weird. She used to go out on dates with him and shit like that. And she would send me pictures. She would be sending me naked pictures while she was in the house with him. I remember one time she sent me a video talking about she had a wet dream of me, and she sent me a video of her popping herself. I'm like, yo, where's your husband, miss? And she was like, he went downstairs. It was getting like really crazy. So it was like, I don't really want to be a part of all of this nonsense, right? So when I cut her off the first time, the funny thing about it was I would see this girl um in passing. I don't want necessarily. I don't like giving up details, even though people seem to figure out the details because the story be about them, and then they blow the spot up. When my whole thing was not to identify anybody in the story but me, because I don't want to put people's business out there. Because that's not the type of person I am. If I'm talking about a situation, it's not necessarily about the person I'm talking about. And if you choose to take offense to it, I don't care. You can kiss my ass. This is my story. So I don't give a fuck how you feel about me telling my story. But this has happened quite a few times. Anyways, like I said, I'm just telling different parts of the story. But like I said, like I would see her in passing in a specific place, right? And so for the whole time, like I'm just acting like she don't exist, not saying a fucking word, blah blah blah, minding my business. And she was doing the same. So the time passed, and then one day I had like I was driving, and the funny thing was I was driving behind her. I didn't realize it was her, but her back lights was out, her tail lights was out. And, I'm like a person that if I see a person's tail light, headlight, anything, I'm going to say something to you because I want somebody to do the same so I don't get pulled over for no stupid shit. So I pulled up on the side of her, and I didn't realize it was her until I pulled up on it. And the funny thing is, I was getting ready to make a left. She was going straight. So I was like, yo, your lights are on. And I saw that it was her. She had the biggest smile on her face. I just kept it moving. So then, like a couple of days later, I'm coming into the gym at the same time she is. I see her. So it's kind of like, we running into each other. I just said the gym. Fuck it, it was at the gym. I was trying to keep that part secret, but it is what it is. And so we got the talking, blase blah, this, that, and the third. And like I said, it was no bad blood. I appreciate it, Shorty. I was cool with Shorty, but I just didn't want to be tied up in that situation. And she just was wilding. Like it's so many details of the story I'm just not saying because it ain't about that part of it, right? But when I say it was bad. Like Shorty was cold, disrespectful to her husband, like cold, like so cold that I had to consider the nigga like, bruh, I don't want to. This is bad. And boy knew, and he wasn't trying to leave. He was like really trying to make it work. And I'm like, sure. And she like, fuck you. I want. It was bad. So, anyways, I was like, it was nice to see you, blah blah blah, this and third. She was like, well, I always just wanted us to be cool. I'm like, we could be cool. Big mistake because you can't really be cool with women like that. It's very rare cases that you can, but especially with women that you fucked, trying to be cool with them is you just trying to still stick around. I've done it before, trying to be cool with chicks that I was fucking just to try to fuck them again. So I ain't gonna act like that ain't a thing. It is. She was clearly trying to still stay on that, you know what I mean? That wavelength with me, with keeping that connection going. So, mind you, this is like you know what? What's this? This is March. So this is probably like around August or September. It was still like kind of warm outside when we had ran back into each other. But mind you, it had been months since I said anything to her, talked to her, anything like that. And so this whole time, Shorty was still like feeling some type of way about this situation and still wanted me and all this type of stuff, right? So the crazy part was I was, I smoke cigars. I ain't smoked a cigar in a while, but I smoke cigars. So I was going to the cigar spot to meet one of my homies, and she was like, "Where you at? Come out, come to this place." And I'm like, "I don't go to them ghetto fucking spots." I was like, "This is where I'm gonna be. So if you want to come, you come here." So she came at me at this one particular spot that I like to hang out at, little cigar spot in the cut. Not my normal joint, but this joint in the cut. Me, and my boy, one of my other homegirls, and she pulled up. Just pulled up, and we just shooting shit, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And I remember, at the end of the night, I walked into a car, and we had got in the car. We started talking, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And that's when she was saying, like I just always wanted to just still be cool with you. And I was like, but how that's gonna work? I was like, because I don't want to be involved with you. And I was like, and honestly, you ain't gonna be able to take the fact that I'm gonna do what the fuck I want and fuck with whoever I want to fuck with. She was like, yes, I can. No, you're not. I hear you, but you're not. You gonna be upset. I remember one time, what happened? I was at like a cookout, took a picture with some girls and put it on my Instagram. She saw it. She like asked me about it. I was like, excuse me? Who the fuck you think you're talking to? Like, I'm a grown ass man, do what the fuck I want. Don't ask me who the fuck I'm with. No, you ask your husband them questions. Just to kind of give you the type of delusion that this woman had, because it was crazy. Um, and mind you, at this point, I hadn't fucked it. Like, even when, like, and I've learned this too, like, we can act like, even though I say there's still a portion of this where the woman has to be accountable for herself, but like even with like when you getting pussy from a woman, when you getting pussy from a woman, there's this expectation. Even if you're telling them like, dog, all this is some sex. Like if you're saying that, like I've been in situations plenty of times where I've said that, and the woman it just don't get it. Like they think in their head, I could fuck this dude, and eventually he's gonna be mine. No, if the nigga tell you he don't want you, he don't want you. It just is what it is. Until he says that or until he switches that up, stop thinking in your head that the nigga belong to you because he don't. He could do what the fuck you want, right? But at this point, we're not even fucking. We haven't fucked in months. And it wasn't since last year. Like and I could tell you as a nigga who likes to fuck, I had no interest in fucking this girl. So we sitting in the car, we talking blah blah blah. And she was like, well, Dad, we should do something. She was like, pull your pants down. And I'm like, excuse me? Nah, it's not gonna happen like that. So she tugging at my pants, blah, 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 da 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 da. Phone ring. And your phone could be hooked up to the car. It said, husband. I said, go home, yo. That's the sign. You're not even supposed to be here. Just go home. So, I got in my car, I left. She left. Blah, blah, blah. She was like, he didn't even want nothing. Blah, 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 this, that, and third. Da, 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 da. That's not the point. She wasn't even supposed to be there with me anyway. So, we continued to like be cordial. I see her in the gym, I would speak, or she might text me here, text me there, blah, blah, blah. But it was like, I'm not on this. Like, this just ain't what I'm doing. And one thing about her, like most women will say shit to try to get a rise out of you and try to get attention. So she would do shit like that, like say little shit like, da 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 da. I don't want you anyway. Blah. Okay, that's fine. Well, that should make this easy. Like I'm just waiting for you to stop texting me altogether since you're so adamant about not wanting me, yet you're on my line for what reason at all at this point? Like, I don't even understand what we talking about. And mind you, at this point, I wasn't even calling and texting her at all. Any communication that we were doing was totally being, initiated by her. So, what is this? This is March. So, like a couple of weeks ago, she had texted me. I was out she like came to a place I was at, and I guess she thought that like we was kicking it, and it was like, no, I'm here. So she wound up leaving. I didn't care. It was what it was. Um, it was funny because I had her location, not because I wanted it, because she just gave it to me, right? Her and I used to be like, "Do your husband got your location?" Her husband didn't even have her location, but I had her location. It was weird. Like I never understood that because I didn't care where Shorty was, and she for damn sure I don't give my location to no fucking body. That just ain't how I roll. Like if something happened to me, it just happened to me. I don't need no niggas to find me and know where the fuck I'm at. Bad enough the government know where you at every fucking hour, second of the day. I don't just need regular people just checking to see where I'm at. I'm grown. I can handle my own business. So she called herself taking off her location, but then she put it back. So then I was like, well, why you put your location back? Like you took it off. She's like, no, I didn't. You know, like that the phone will tell you when somebody stops sharing their location with you. So that's another thing. Shorty would tell a lot. She would lie about little stupid shit like I was fucking retarded. It was another thing that like kind of pissed me off because it's like, dog, just be straight up. Like, if you took it off, you took it off. It ain't that deep. We ain't kids lying about this relationship shit. We grown as adults. I don't really give a fuck about much or nothing to be lying to you about anything. I done enough lying in the past for shit. Like I'm gonna just do what the fuck I want. You should do the same, right? So that was the last time. Well, not the last time. So like I kind of like just not even kind of fell back because I'd already been falling back. So then like another week or so later, and mind you, I'm just kind of throwing times out there because I don't really know the time frames outside of like when we met and when I first stopped talking to her, and when I last stopped talking to her. But like what was happening in between, it could have been a week, 2 weeks. I don't know. I'm just telling y'all as I go along. So she hits me again, and when she hits me this time, she's talking about like um you know I was out of town, and she was like what did she say? She was like well, be careful and make sure you wear a condom. And I was looking like, I don't wear a condom. I'm a grown ass man. What the fuck am I wearing condoms for? And and I left it alone. Then she sends me a picture of her, like, I guess showing off her body. And she was like, the only person you should be going in raw. And I was like, no, you have a husband. I don't want to go in you raw. Mind you, I went in the girl raw before. Something wrong with me. No, it ain't. I'm a human just like everybody else. I done fucked some girls the first day I met them raw. So I ain't about to sit here and act like I'm some kind of angel. I'm not. I'm just telling y'all the story. But use your condoms, fellas, moving forward. Or get you a girl. Just fuck one girl so you ain't gotta use no condoms. Because we grown and condoms suck ass. Make sure she not ovulating though if you ain't trying no babies. But anyways, that's the thing. Like you know what condoms to me are? Just a sidebar. If I fuck you with a condom, I do not like you at all. Like if I use a condom, like especially if like I fucked you a lot of times and never and always used the condom every time I did it, it was just something to do. I had no. It's kind of like washing your hands with a rubber glove. You know what I mean? Like, are your hands really clean at the end of the day? No, they're not, because you got a rubber glove on. So a condom to me is the same thing. If I fuck you with a condom, it really don't count. So I know I talk about how I had so much sex in my life, but I could probably like really chop that to a smaller fraction because a lot of the condom sex don't count. Or not a lot of it. None of the condom sex. I just made a new rule up. None of the condom sex I ever had counts. So if I had sex with you with a condom, it don't even count. So get a life. Leave me alone. Anyways, I had told her, yeah, I told her, what did I tell her? Fuck, I forgot. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So she was like, yeah. Then it's like I'm putting it out there that I don't want to do it. So then she said something to me along the lines of like, I decided I wasn't gonna do it to you when you told me before you never used condoms. And I'm like, yeah, but yeah, here you are on my phone. Why are you calling me? Or why are you texting me? I'm confused. Like, what are you looking for? You just texting me just to tell me don't fuck somebody else. I'm just and you're just playing. Get off my phone. And she started going back and forth. So I blocked her. Yo, I never blocked anybody from anything. I've been blocked for whatever reasons and all that type of stuff. Whatever. But I always looked at things like things ain't never that deep. I ain't never blocking nobody. I got a cold stalker from 10 years ago that I ain't even blocked. They ain't never gonna block. But I had to block this girl because it's like, dog, go home and tend to your husband. Stop fucking worrying about me. I keep dropping this microphone. The crazier part though is this is like I think this is like December or November of last year, right? Or maybe even January. It might be January, but it's been a couple months, right? And I'm saying all this to say, like I told you in the beginning, it's March 2nd. So yesterday, March 1st, I'm just sitting here chilling, minding my business, and I get a call that comes in. But I don't physically see the call on the screen because the way my phone is set up, that if I don't know who the fuck you are, you can't call me. You gotta leave like a message for it. It's almost like a Google Voice number, but it's not. It's something that Apple got that's new that like people have to identify themselves before the call actually comes through, right? So I get this call. It's no caller ID first. So I'm looking, but then when I look at the missed call, it actually showed a phone number. So what I'll do from time to time is if it's a phone number, because like I go through phases where like if I don't talk to people, I erase phone numbers out my phone. So like there are literally 32 contacts in my phone. There are 32 people who like I can physically call that I know their number. If you're not, and that's crazy because I know a shitload of motherfuckers, but it's only 32 contacts in my phone. So if a number is calling you, you'll know it is. What I always do is I'll check to see whether it might be somebody versus not, because I'll hit the number and then I'll hit text. And if when it turns over, it turns blue like it's another iPhone, then I'll be like, well, I wonder who the fuck this is. So the crazy part was it called a few times. So then I text the phone and I put hello with a question mark, right? And sure enough, it was. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all real quick. Hold on, check it out. Check it out real fast. Yeah, you see, I like blacked out the number and the name just so y'all. I'm not trying to put nobody out there like that. But like literally, I told you I blocked her. She's literally calling me from somebody else's phone. I don't know who phone it is. I don't know what the situation is, but she's calling me from somebody else's phone. Y'all see what she says for me to call her on her phone. I'm like, why? Like, what the fuck do you want? Like, and I wasn't even trying to be smart. It's like, what's up? Is something wrong? Do I need to know something? Like, what's up? Like, what's up? No, she said never mind. So all right, cool. I let it go at that. I deleted the thread and all that. Okay, it's cool. She tried. It didn't work. We'll keep it moving. Dog. Like 20 minutes later, the phone just kept ringing and ringing. I kept like hitting the end call button and the end call. She just kept calling and calling and calling and calling and calling. Say all this to say, fellas, don't get fucking married. That shit is for the birds, especially now. Marriage is a thing of the past, man. Everybody is for themselves. They're gonna do what the fuck they want when they ready to do it. Especially with all this women's empowerment shit that's going on. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you don't but with women's empowerment, like coming to the forefront, all that traditional shit is over. Ain't no woman about to value you like that. And it ain't a money thing. It ain't uh it, it, these women through my experience are always looking to feel something extra, like you could fill the filling meter up to the top, the very top, and check every box, but then more boxes will start to appear. It's just a never ending cycle. They're always going to want more. And if you can't provide the more that they want, it turns into victimhood. And then they go seeking it elsewhere. Some of them will leave you alone. Some of them will keep it moving. But even with them, it's like they'll start entertaining other motherfuckers, regardless of whether they fucking them or it becomes a whole full on situation. This is what will happen. So, fellas, your piece is the best thing that you have right now. Unless you have you a decent woman, like, because there are some decent women out there. I'm not going to front and act like they all ain't decent. Even with that being said, I still, at this big age, marriage, I'm cool. You know what I mean? I'd rather just have somebody that I kick it with, because I'm old enough to be able to control my dick and keep it in my pants and not fuck everybody I see. Like, I'm cool with that now. I didn't have so much pussy. That pussy is not the determining factor for me now. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. That's another thing about, like, going through what I went through and then gaining my balance back and my stability back. It's like now I don't got to worry about trying to chase some stupid ass hoes and some hoes trying to chase me. You know what I mean? I could just have one chick, chill with her, kick it, go do things and all that cool stuff, and not really deal with the headache of it. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's more of a less stressful situation that you have to deal with. Because when you the side nigga and you dealing with stress, because I was side, I was happy being a side nigga. I always preferred being a side nigga because I never wanted to be nobody's primary focus. But I always learn, even with being somebody's primary focus, it's just too much pressure because they demand too much out of you. I'd rather be the nigga you just come to, or at the time, I'd rather just be the nigga that you come to get just some fun and you just go about your business. But everybody attaches their feelings to everything they fucking do, even shit that they shouldn't be attaching their feelings to. So, fellas, don't save yourself a headache if you're young, especially if you're young. Like if you're in your 20s and you're thinking about getting married, don't do it. This shit's only getting worse. Unless the internet disappears and everybody goes back to living a normal life, it's a lost cause. There's always going to be someone on the internet that pushes these women to think that there's more for them. You know what I mean? Like, and I get it. People want the maximum out of life, but sometimes you got to understand like there's a balance in everything. So you just can't have it all the time. I even had to learn that. Can't have it all the time. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to understand that there's a certain way to go about doing things, and getting married is not the certain way to go about doing things. But if you do get married, more power to you. I wish you many blessings. I'm not sitting here saying that don't get married. I'm saying you should. Like I got my boys. My both my boys been married, and one of them been divorced twice, and one of them been divorced once. One was about to get married, canceled an engagement, and then got married, got divorced. The other one got divorced 2 times. I'm the only one out of all of us that never did it. Cause no, I'm not doing all that shit. I'm not doing that. Having a girlfriend and going through breaking up and all that nonsense is more than enough. Let alone being married and have to go through a legal fucking situation to deal with it. You know what I mean? I used to be telling Shorty all the time. Telling her all the time, if you don't really fuck with boy like that, divorce him. And I'm like, don't divorce him for me though, because I want you to know, if you divorce this man, I am not gonna be your boyfriend. And 10 times out of 10, I'm probably gonna stop fucking with you altogether because then you ain't gonna have nothing but time to be focusing on me and what I'm doing, and I don't want that at all. But they still married. I would assume so. I mean, since the last time I talked to her, which was a couple months ago. Maybe they got divorced and that's why she was trying to call me. I don't know. I don't give a fuck at all. But at the same time, um, yeah, that's it. Kind of like a little, I don't want to say crazy story because this type of shit happens every day. It's just happening. It's just happened to me. So I wanted to share it, talk about it, cautionary tale. And I hope, fellas, if you do get married, make sure you have crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's. Like you just know what you're dealing with. Even if you're gonna marry a girl that's gonna fuck around, just know that you're gonna be okay with her fucking around. Like know that it's not gonna be something that's gonna take stress away from you. Cause I mean, I'm sure some people have arrangements where they get married and it's like you could do what you want, I could do what I want. If that's not who you are and that's not what you want out of this, make sure that you deal with somebody that doesn't give you that type of energy. Because, if you want somebody all to yourself, make sure you find somebody that's going to give you that same energy. So you're not dealing with dumb shit and people not out here confusion. I've been through enough confusion with people. Like at this point, I'm cool. If this shit not easy, I'm not doing it. Like if shit just don't go the way I needed to go as far as these relationships go, I ain't fucking with it. It just is what it is. Now I'm not going back and forth. I'm not. I have a saying now, usually when you get into somebody, y'all argue, or women. It's mainly women. Women will complain like a motherfucker. One thing about me, I don't complain. If I complain, it's because you're getting on my fucking nerves. Like I will deal with shit from women and won't say 2 fucking words about it because it's like I know I ain't the most easy motherfucker to deal with. So I'm assuming you doing the same thing. It's like I ain't perfect, so I know you ain't perfect. So I ain't about to complain about every little fucking stupid thing that you do. But women tend to do that shit. They just complain because they want attention. And it's like, I'm not dealing with that shit. So I even told Shorty this. I said, Shorty, what's up with you? I said, you rolling? Because it was another situation we had where She felt like I did something she ain't like, and I said, so what's up? What you want me to do about it? I said, what you gonna do? I said either one or two things gonna happen. I said, you either gonna leave or you gonna stay. Either way, you gonna shut the fuck up. Because if you gonna leave, ain't no reason to talk. And if you stay, it ain't no reason to talk. We ain't got nothing to talk about. I'm a grown ass man. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want. So we don't have shit to talk about. So what you gonna do? That's it. So unless people get with that program, all that arguing and fighting and dealing with shit that you don't want to deal with, people cheating and all that stuff, make sure you got all them ducks in the row, young fellas, if you choose to get married. But my advice, if you want my advice, excuse me, don't. Shit's for the birds. Let the birds get married. Nah. Be great. Live your life. This world gonna end soon any fucking way. Whether it be in the next 10, 20 years, don't spend these last couple years arguing with a woman about the trash not being taken out when she wanted taken out and she not taking it out. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Or the grass being cut when she feel like the grass should be cut, even though she not cutting the grass. Yeah, like don't do that because you're not complaining about the dishes not being washed or the food not being cooked. These bitches don't even cook dinner no more. So shut the fuck up. But keep that no man spirit alive. Shout out to my man Al Bundy. You know what I mean? But we ain't having it. This is 2026. We're not dealing with this bullshit. We're not dealing with this dumb shit. We're not fucking with these dumb huzz that think they hot shit and they ain't no better than us. They do some of the same stupid, messy shit that they always accusing us of doing. They be talking about how we cheat and they be sucking dick the same night. So, it is what it is. And keep the bro code going. Don't fall out with your bros over no hoes, man. Um, so anyways, I got a text coming and I got a handle, so let me jump on this. But anyways, I just wanted to, you know, give y'all that little piece of story from what I was dealing with. I just thought it was interesting that after all this time, she's still trying to reach out to the kid. But why wouldn't she? I'm that nigga. I'm the man. Like I'm really that dude. I always been. And now I finally realized it again. I had lost it for a little while, but I finally got it back. Even and it's little signs that show me that. Even her hit me. It's like, yeah, I know I'm that nigga. Don't ever let nobody take your fire, bro. Keep it going. But just another story time, and a little cautionary tale. Stay single, and stay great, stay dangerous, kings. I'll see y'all on the next one. You already know. Peace.
Shout out to King Wayne first before I get started. Crown him. But anyway,